Now, personally, I believe that giving money to a YouTuber is a very bad investment because, YouTube is a free platform. You can pretty much watch videos for free. Why should I be giving money to random people online? And not only that, but YouTubers also just have a habit of messing up so badly that you regret subscribing to them. YouTubers also have a habit of, letting real life stuff get in their way, so they end up having to not upload for a long time, sometimes for months or even years of just not uploading content to the audience. And hey, sometimes a YouTuber will just flat out, stop being alive. So that's why I think giving money to a YouTuber is always just a bad investment. Like, you're giving money to someone who doesn't know you and won't even really help you out if you're ever in a bad situation yourself. I mean, yeah, a YouTuber can, help you feel better with their videos unintentionally for the most part. But even then, like, let's say you're like in a very bad financial spot, like you're borderline homeless. Is a YouTuber gonna donate money to you? No. So screw them. Nowadays, we live in a timeline where someone can get like some views on YouTube and then think they're suddenly famous enough to be worthy of asking you for money. And to be fair here, some of my favorite, I think all of my favorite YouTubers do ask for money from their fans in some way, via Patreon or some other bullcrap donations. And I can understand where they're coming from, but hell, I'm not giving them any of my money. Like, screw that. So here are some moments that I can think of off the top of my head where giving an online influencer or a YouTuber money has completely backfired and it was a horrible investment. And please note that this video is not made out of jealousy or spite. My military benefits literally entitle me to not only a monthly pension, but also the free healthcare, something that many Western YouTubers don't have. Like, I am literally financially better off than I would estimate to be about 99% of YouTubers. Alright, let's start off with one that just happened recently. Noah Samson, the political leftist YouTuber guy, he is getting sued by H3H3, aka Ethan Klein. And to be honest, my views on Ethan Klein are, I think he's an annoying, boring YouTube person, But what got Noah Samson into some hot water is that he accused H3H3 of trying to, back a genocide. Like, that's a crazy accusation, because when I think of backing a genocide, I personally think of like handing out weapons or just making propaganda, flat out telling people to go and kill some people. And yeah, and now Noah Samson wants people to donate $200,000 to him. And I'm thinking, why? Why should I donate money for your lawsuit? Like, what's next? You're going to ask people to pay for your rent, your bills, or your car or whatever? Hell no. And what's even funnier is that in his GoFundMe, it says something like, any leftover proceeds will go over to Palestine. Like, what does Noah think he is? Is he trying to be like the Schindler's List version of Palestine? Should we start calling him Air Noah or something like that? And to be honest, I don't really understand the Palestine glaze. Like, don't get me wrong, what's happening in Palestine sucks, but it's not the only third world country going through something terrible. Like, plenty of African countries are going through something just as bad, if not worse. Yeah, nobody gives them attention. And don't give me that, you should have empathy. You need to have empathy. Look, I have plenty enough empathy, but the thing about empathy is that you have to have realistic standards when it comes to empathy. If I had to donate money to Palestine, I'm pretty much going to have to donate money to hundreds of other countries and millions of other people as well. And screw that. I just don't want to, It's my money. I can do what I want. If I want to be really empathetic and charitable, I would rather just, help out Americans in need, not some far off country that doesn't even know I exist or cares about me. And to be honest, I don't really want to donate to any country where, LGBT rights still aren't really allowed. Yeah, that's a weird thing, right? Like Noah Samson, he wants to support Palestine for some reason. And Palestine is one of those countries that isn't really cool with LGBT people having rights, So And in a way, if you decide to donate money to Palestine, you're kind of being a bigot towards the LGBT community. In fact, in general, I just don't trust any Palestine charities, to be honest. Like, how do we know that money is actually going to Palestinians? Like, do we actually have any evidence of Palestinians being helped out with anybody's donation money at all? Like, do we have like Palestinians recording themselves and like thanking these YouTubers that are like, hey, donate to this country? I don't think a single Palestinian knows who Noah even is. And to be honest, I would rather that America focus on American issues. Like, I'm sorry what's happening in Palestine, but there's like millions of homeless Americans out there that could be using help as well. For example, when I go up to a random homeless person and give them money, I can at least see that homeless person, getting that money and eventually making use of it. When you donate to Palestine for whatever reason, you have no idea where that money is going to or who it actually is going to. But back to Noah Samson, what exactly makes him so special? People go to court every day for all sorts of reasons, and none of them, get any sort of donation money or charity or whatever. A lot of people, in fact, most people who go to court have to fund themselves. They got to help themselves out. And yet Noah Samson, this talking personality on YouTube that you don't even know, this guy is suddenly worth $200,000. If you actually donate it to Noah Samson, you just pretty much got scammed, because not only is he definitely going to lose a lawsuit, considering that Ethan Klein has won his other lawsuits against the people he sued, but, in a way, when you donate to Noah Samson, you're basically giving Ethan Klein money. I even looked it up on Google. The type of lawsuit that Noah Samson is getting sued for, it's not even like $200,000 worthy. Like, what is he going to do with the rest of that money? I personally think I have a theory. All right, I theorize that Noah Samson knows he's going to lose the lawsuit, so the extra money he gets from the 200K, he's actually just going to pocket for himself and just move to another country to avoid any sort of responsibility. That's just a theory, though. I mean, I could be wrong. Anyway, giving Noah Samson money, bad investment. And if you donate to him, well, geez, you might as well just start giving money to H3H3, because that's where all that money is going to go to. Alright, so this next rant just goes out to YouTubers in general, certain YouTubers. So this one, I'll use him to represent certain YouTubers who do the same thing. YMS. So the thing about YMS, aka Your Movie Sucks, is that he's a YouTube critic, and he makes over $3,000 a month on Patreon from donations plus some extra. And when I checked his Patreon, I was like, damn, really? What makes this guy $3,000 a month worthy? Now, I used to be subscribed to YMS when I was younger and going through my I'm better and smarter than you phase. And after growing up and letting some time pass, I thankfully moved away from YMS content. Nowadays, sometimes I check out his reviews and I don't see anything special, Like, his reviews, are they funny? No. What about his movie critiques? I mean, a lot of his movie complaints are stuff that you can easily find on Reddit or from any other YouTuber. What exactly makes YMS so special? His voice also doesn't help. He has a very annoying, whiny sounding voice like this. It's hard to describe. So yeah, I just don't see why anyone would invest money into this. Like, I feel like if you give money to YMS or YouTubers similar to him, I just feel like you're just getting scammed. Like, you could have just used that money to invest in yourself instead of just giving it to a random YouTuber without any real talent. Not only that, but YouTubers like Roz Media and some other people have even pointed out all the crazy things that YMS has said, like how he's okay with animal and humans having sexual relationships so long as there's consent involved, or because animals can't consent or something. Jesus Christ. And then there was that one time where YMS defended, inappropriate drawings of, child characters because, hey, it's just a drawing. Like, that's just a major red flag in my opinion. And I don't see why anyone would want to invest money into that kind of person outside of, maybe total creeps that need to feel validated. If I want to listen to someone have a movie opinion, I'll just listen to someone else who sounds way more chill or is way more funny. But overall, YouTubers without any real talent somehow making a lot of money on YouTube, yeah, I just feel like that's a bad investment, especially since YouTube videos are usually free. Why would anyone pay a members only fee to watch YMS? Oh wow, you don't gotta watch YouTube ads with this. Well, isn't that the purpose of having YouTube Prime? And not to mention, there are other ways of avoiding ads on YouTube. No, I'm not giving this guy money. Screw that. And I'm not giving any other YouTubers like him money. So yeah, that's just a bad investment in my opinion. Giving money to a YouTuber without any real talent whatsoever. And you know what's funny? I live next to a college. So every day I hear millennials and Zoomers talking about how bad the economy is. Oh, I can't afford rent. I can't afford food. Oh, gas prices are too high. Oh, this is too expensive. Blah 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 blah. And I'm wondering like, who are these people that donate to YouTubers then? Because I hear young people complain about not being able to afford stuff, and yet somehow YouTubers are able to make bank off of YouTube with low effort videos like YMS. Like, it's crazy. Now, I was hating on Gerard the Completionist before it was cool. First of all, his defense of Final Fantasy 13 was pure garbage because Final Fantasy 13, no matter how much you want to sugarcoat it, is not a good Final Fantasy game at all. But other than his normie, horrible, unfunny gaming opinions, with the whole personality being a wholesome Chungus fat boy or whatever, the completionist was mostly innocent, until that charity scandal happened. And I think everybody's heard the story, but I'll just recap it. So basically, Gerard the completionist, he had some drama before this, like with his co-host Greg or something like that. Anyway, this guy, he wanted to do a charity for dementia, and instead of just immediately donating that charity money as soon as possible, he held on for it for, I believe, what, years, which was hilarious when he got called out for it. And the whole thing about Gerard the Completionist is that he could have easily kept his YouTube credibility. He could have easily avoided that drama if he A, donated that charity money sooner, or B, just not do the charity at all. You don't have to do charity. Most people don't do charity. It's perfectly normal. But yeah, that happened, and what's even fun, and it was a bad investment because if you gave Gerard that charity money, due to inflation and whatnot, that money would become less valuable over time. Now, as dumb as Gerard was for this whole charity scandal, and despite the fact that I do find his reviews to be very boring, I think another bad example would be with Carl Jobs. Now, Carl Jobs, he was one of the people that exposed the completionist for his charity scandal. Carl Jobs, he's a YouTuber who documents speed runs or something like that. I haven't watched him in a while. And Carl Joss ended up getting sued by Billy Mitchell, and for years, people thought that Carl Joss was getting sued by Billy Mitchell because they thought that Billy Mitchell accused Carl Joss of calling him a cheater or something like that. But no, that wasn't the reason why Billy Mitchell was suing Carl Joss. Carl Joss was getting sued by Billy Mitchell because Carl Joss, he basically alleged that Billy Mitchell caused the suicide of another YouTuber called Apollo Legends, and that's a very extreme thing to accuse someone of. Like, why was Carl Joss even trying to be so defensive over Apollo Legends? Like, he wasn't a family member, you know. Like, did they meet in real life? Were they like gay lovers or something? I don't know. But accusing Billy Mitchell of causing the suicide without any proper evidence whatsoever, yeah, that's retarded. And what's scummy about this whole situation is that Carl Jobs, he didn't really reveal that. He eventually did. He did it in a Dark Souls video, which was like, what, 20 plus minutes long, and then he does the reveal at the end of the video when most people would have clicked off anyway. For the majority of Carl Joss fans, they thought he was getting sued by Billy Mitchell because, Carl accused him of cheating, but that wasn't really the case. So anyone that donated money to Carl Jobs, not only did you lose money, you wasted money, but you pretty much also paid Billy Mitchell as well, who also has a net worth of $1 million according to Google. So yeah, you not only you literally just donated money to a literal cancer of a human being, Carl Joss. My channel has amassed over 2,000 subscribers in a relatively short amount of time, and I appreciate that. And if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say I'm never going to ask you for money. I'm never going to do a stupid sponsorship because I already have a reliable source of income. I don't need your motherfucking money, and I don't. And you know what's cool about what's cool about my beliefs is that I'm not going to be an algorithm slave. You know, I don't care about ad revenue. None of that. I literally make videos for myself, for the most part, or just to give out information, like factual information when it comes to military or some other life stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, the next video is going to be members only.